So, if you don't already, grab some like good strong black or brown thread.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so build a thread brace around the entire length of the shank. Eye to the, not quite at the bend, but just a little before.
What fly are we tying today, dear?
Oh, sorry. We're tying a mouse pattern by stacking deer hair. It's a time-consuming one, so you're probably gonna have to do the time-lapse thing with this video, but
Leave it at the back.
my rule of thumb is I always go straight up from like the barb of the hook. That's a good place to end your thread.
And there. Okay.
Yep. And then you're gonna take a couple of these handy-dandy feathers here.
What are we doing?
We're creating the tail of the mouse. So
What kind of feathers are these?
Badger.
Badger, yeah, I think.
badger feather.
Badger Hackles.
Isn't that the pattern of the...
I honestly can't remember. I've seen this done with like Grizzly Hackles too.
No, it's Badger.
It's the badger feather. So do about a little bit longer than the length of the hook itself. Maybe a third again as much. So if you have that, just pop it up a third, slide. So about that much.
Hot dog, fly fishing.
Clip that excess.
Thank you.
And then get it all cinched down to right where you ended your thread when you were first wrapping it. So right where it meets the tail. Try to imagine like the mouse body once it's made up, how
to
long
equal-
of the tail should be
equal
coming
the
out. I
body.
mean, it's
Okay.
not an exact science, but you can kind of eyeball it and figure it out just by looking at it as is right now. And then we're gonna do the fun with deer hair stacking. So we're gonna pass this around. We're gonna be tearing through this thing a lot because this is, it's a very time-consuming kind of fly to tie, just because you have to keep stacking hair after hair after hair after hair, just building your body as you work forward. So what you do
Should wrap the whole head in.
is you clip it. You don't really have to stack it because you're going to be kind of trimming that anyways, so it doesn't matter too much if it's even. But you want the thicker end of the hair, the coarser stuff, to be what's going to flare out. So kind of avoid, flaring this out. That's pretty much going to be trimmed. So try to tie it down about halfway. I'm not explaining it well. So like where the tip is, about halfway down, maybe a ½ inch, that's where you want to wrap your thread around that tuft of hair. And you're gonna do 2 very light wraps like that, and then start pulling. You can see how it spins like that. Release, some more tugs, and then you weave it through all of those hairs, just kind of at a 45-degree angle, just kind of working your way to the front of that mass with your thread. So yeah, rinse and repeat, and we're just gonna build that body doing that deer hair roll.
Okay. So you don't.
Once you have 2 of those tufts on,
Not shower.
what you're gonna do, and you guys are gonna hate me for this, but
I mean, I was naked either way.
you take your thumb and index finger and you pack it. Push those 2 together as tight as you can, which is gonna create more room. With a fly this big, yeah, this is gonna
So
take.
push it back, but you don't want to twist it.
Don't twist
Push
it. No,
back.
you're just mushing it together. You just want that, once we clip it, you want that hair to be as dense as possible.
Sure.
Because it's far more buoyant that way. And just this simple little push it together trick really helps with it. So with this deer stacking, you can build a lot of different like hoppers and Goddard caddis, and it's
Pull that back.
it's a really nice way to, if you have a bunch of janky deer hair, to get through it and create some good floating flies.